Dieu mon droit, God and my right, the Crown Corporation. Right, this morning in my hand I have my birth certificate, and I'm just gonna do a short video explaining what this really is, because they won't tell you at the registry office. They just say you're registering a birth. Even if you know what this is, they'll try and deny the truth, which is basically, when I was born, my parents went to the registry office and registered my birth. At that point, the government gave them this, which is basically a stock delivery note and a bond. This gives the government ownership of my physical body, and the bond is like a trust that's set up in this name, which is a legal fiction or a legal name. And that bond has value, a monetary value, which is traded over the stock market as stock. This is also the name that I get all of my bills in. If I buy any property, like a car, it's attached to this. So it's not me that owns the car, it's the Crown that owns me and the car. So that's the ownership document, delivery note. And there's a lot more to this, because money is created off of this bond. So if I go to a bank and I ask to borrow money, the bank will agree how much I'm going to borrow. The bank will print out a contract, and at the bottom I will sign it, which means I understand the document, which is probably fraudulent as well. They then use my signature off the bottom to release funds from the trust or bond, which they then deposit in my accounts. And then I get the bonus of having some funds to spend, and I have to pay that money back to them at interest when I created it in the first place, or this legal person bond that's in my name that I'm programmed or taught to admit to, which is also an act of fraud. This is not me. This is what they call a straw man or a legal fiction. Which brings me to law, and the law of this land that comes from the Ten Commandments and the Bible is British common law, which, as far as I'm concerned, the Bible's God's law. If you get arrested and taken to a court, you're put into a dock. A dock is on a ship, and in that court you're being treated as stock. This is maritime law, and basically legislation that's created from a criminal government. When the Queen was coronated, I think her oath was to uphold God's law and to not legislate, which they freely create legislation committing crimes against us, the people, on a regular basis. So maritime law is the law of the seas, and we are treated as stock. When the judge asks us our name, they will say, "Are you Arthur Charles Melhuish?" And because of the programming that I had at school, and I was taught that my name is Arthur Charles Melhuish, I will say, yes, miss, yes, sir, that is me. At that point, we have just made a contract unknowingly, and I've understood them and giving them full authority to do with me as they wish. I believe they also create some funds off of the bond to pay for it, which I think in the Magna Carta, one of the articles that is left is the right to a fair trial. And I think that's probably a crime against that too. So this document is about money, it's about law and commercial slavery. That's why I thought I'd do a video on it. And if we want to talk about a new world, abolishing this document and giving us our freedom would be a good start. Okay, I'm now going to have my tea and toast. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you.